Hello, I'm Stephen from Stephen Reed Landscape Design, and this is my show garden for the Grand Designs live home show here in Melbourne. So just a little bit about this garden. The philosophy behind it is that I've intentionally blurred the lines between indoors and outdoors. Now you can take that quite literally and say that I've designed an outdoor bath, and in that case make sure that your bath will survive outdoors. But in actual fact what I'm trying to show here is the fact that gardens and houses should be better integrated. So instead of having a garden that is purely window dressing on the outside of the house, why not have trees that are planted in a place where they'll do the most good? Plant them on the west side of the wall of the house so it cools the house in summer. And don't plant them in places where it's going to make the house dark and dank. Also things like using light coloured paving in a warm climate to help reflect heat and not absorb heat. And then in a cool climate perhaps you may need to use dark coloured paving. Also make sure the materials that you use in your garden are sustainable. So we've used blackbutt here, reclaimed blackbutt, so they've had a previous use before we put them in this garden. Also things like the pressed tin panels, make sure that you use 100% recyclable material, even if the manufacturing of that material, the smelting of the aluminium in the first place, may not be the most sustainably sensitive process around, but once it's made it's incredibly durable. So sustainability can be a little bit murky depending on your stance on certain products, but as long as you think about the process and think about how long this product is going to last in your landscape. If it's going to last a long time, then perhaps you can justify some of the more murky aspects of the sustainability of it. For example, the concrete paving here will last a very long time in the landscape because they're very high quality. But also think about what happens to those products when the landscape is finished. The concrete can be also recycled into crushed material for road base and that sort of thing. So think about all of those things when you're looking at a sustainable landscape. And that way you can have a garden that is as elegant as this one, but also sustainable. And lastly, this garden bed across here behind the bath is representing a rain garden. So I'm showing here how water can be used through the landscape, going from the downpipes of the house and actually being able to move through the landscape in a way that is not detrimental to the downstream outlets of that landscape. So it's not going to wash out creek beds, it's not going to pollute waterways. If you allow it to absorb into your own garden in a very elegant and cost-effective way.